Sentimental analysis video for the 24th of April. TGIF, it's been quite a long week. I thought I'd just put the market watch so you can see the live prices and the highs and the lows. It might be useful, as you go through these videos. Just so things to be aware of is the static and the dynamic. This is time, and this is like a photograph. So don't necessarily trade this, but see what's happening over time. If they commit to longs, it's a sell. If they commit to shorts, it's a buy, because everything's really just like a trap. So I'll talk about the euro dollar when we get there, and I think it's possible that's what's happened. We saw a huge surge of short positions on my FX book on the euro dollar, but we're not there yet. We'll talk about AJ, and also the video is slightly late today because we're going to have implementation of some signals that are fully automated. So when there's a change in the spreadsheet, we'll get a notification on a brand new group. It'll be Quasidb signals. And so when something's satisfied the criteria for buy, tick, 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 then it will come as a message. I think it will be like a screenshot. I'm not exactly sure how that data is going to be displayed. HTML, I'm not sure. But that's what I'm working on, and it should be ready by Monday, fingers crossed. So we'll have a nice new signals feature. So that's all being said. This is your order book at the current positions, and look for any spikes on the stops. And they're likely liquidity targets, because this is where they've got their stops. So also take a note of the size difference as well. So this monthly pivot got resistance at the halfway point between pivot and MR1. So pending it stays below 68.69, it's quite bearish. We've got a bearish sentiment there. Got resistance now from that high. This one's larger than that one, but it's also the size has decreased from yesterday. The size was 7%. So it tells me that these guys who were long, the minority, they've exited now, and that's why that size is smaller. So they're sort of, I suppose it's quite sensible what they've done really. They were made a bit of money in the Aussie dollar, and now they're out, and because they're out, that means that size is smaller because they're no longer currently trading it. They're just out, at a little profit. It might have been a nice profit for them. I don't really know, but they're out now. And so that's why that size is smaller. Euro Oz, bearish below. It's currently a buy. If we look at the monthly pivot, there it is up there, and there's your monthly support. They were going long, and now they're sideways. Now this is what I was just saying just now. There's a lot of short positions that had opened from my FX book. See, there's like a downward spike across many. So I think this might have been news related. But Barnier was speaking about Brexit. It could have been that. But all I know is that they did decide to sell a lot all of a sudden, within the space of an hour, because I'm just looking at the the sentiment and the signals. So just making these signals. So I'd noticed that there was a big change, because I've streamlined the spreadsheet. So we're just looking at a few, several pairs now. So there was a lot of short sellers that have entered, so there's something to bear in mind. Forex Factory is a big sell. They're really, really long there. So yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one. Currently a sell, and the dollar bubble is a buy. So this could be a fake spike, or it could be a trap. It's hard to say, but all I know is that lots of people decided to sell all of a sudden, so be careful. Now, cable, your monthly pivot is 1, 2, 3, 4. We're above that resistance. We've got that support. The one above's larger than the one below, and it's currently a buy. Kiwi, resistance above monthly pivot. That one's larger than that one. It's currently a sell. Zoom out perhaps. Yeah, I mean, we've got just lower highs, haven't we? There. So quite bearish really. Keep an eye on these level of interest on your spreadsheet. Euro yen, resistance. We've got this blue line, which is your volume line. If it's descending, there's decline in volumes, which is bearish. And it has been for a while. You can see sloping down. There's your pivot there for EJ. Your monthly support is 116.09. So be careful now because that's going to be a support. Okay, so it's 116.09. Below been bearish, above potentially bullish. So just be careful there. But it is a sell, and technically it's a sell, really. But just keep that in mind. 116.09. Pound yen resistance. Below that, descending volume line. Stops very wide. That one is larger. Look how they're very risk adverse, these guys. These retail traders trading this pair. That's how far away their stop is. So it might come up and punish them. You don't know. It's currently a sell, but it's close to neutral. Dollar yen. We've got resistance now, and then got some support. Looking at the sizes, the one above is larger, and it's currently a sell, and it has been a sell for a while since then. So yeah, about 10 days really. They decided to sell around about there, and it's kind of like it's gradually gone up. It is really sideways really now. Dollar CAD. There we go, your resistance. It's broken the support. There's your pivot, so that might come into play. 148.13. That should hold. It's hard to say. CAD bubble is large now, and it's going towards strong buy potentially. Dollar CAD, dollar Swiss even. There's your support. It respected it a few times. So it leads me to think this is going to be a good support again. It's currently undecided. If it goes to 49%, it's going to be a buy. So, yep. And then oil. Sort of declining, stochastic. I'd only be interested if it crosses here to the upside. And even then, you'd have to be careful anyway because there's fundamental issues and supply and demand problems. And last but not least, gold. There's your MR1. There's your level of interest there, which is larger than the one below. Currently a buy. You see on Twitter lots of people trying to sell it as well. I noticed yesterday. So you can use those guys as like cannon fodder, really. But yeah, I'm going to focus on the signals now. I'm around all day if you need me. Just let me know, and hopefully we'll get these signals into our Telegram, and it'd be really awesome. And have a good weekend, and take care and stuff, and have a good one.